What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is May the 23rd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is gravitating towards today. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points. The only data point coming out today that could disrupt the broader market is initial jobless claims coming out in 22 minutes. And the only reason why it would disrupt the broader market is because of what came out yesterday, so the FOMC meeting minutes. But beside the point, you do see the futures very green, and that is a byproduct of good old NVIDIA earnings, which did hit a massive, underline massive, home run. So they did announce a 10-for-1 split, increased dividend, hit every single metric. So this is probably one of the best stocks out there right now, which in my opinion is really going to fuel the broader market. At the same time though, you do see the fear and greed index starting to drop a little bit, so it is at 58. So people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there, even comparing it to the last couple of days. So yesterday it was at 63, the day prior it was at 68. So not necessarily the best, but beside the point though, like I've been saying, big money has been holding their breath for NVIDIA earnings, and now that it came out, kind of gave the A-OK for the broader market to kind of run up, because at the same time you see a lot of volume getting in on a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on. But without further ado, let's get right to it. SOFI is up slightly based on no news, no SEC filings, so it is just piggybacking off the broader market. Shorts did increase about 2.5 million shares yesterday. 16.45% of the free float is being shorted, so most likely shorts might try to suppress SOFI once again below that $7 mark, because that's a very strong resistance point based on at least the options related to that. So market makers won't want it to close above $7. So again, something to kind of consider. I did bring this up in my dedicated video yesterday. So yeah, definitely SOFI is riddled with manipulation, but one point to really watch for is this 7-11. So with it right now, pre-market at 710, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So just watch for 705, 701, and then 696 to really hold. Yesterday it kind of touched and broke past everything with the exception of this S3, so we do know that this is a very strong support. And then so again today, just watch for this pivot point for a breakout or possible breakout. Moving on, NVIDIA is clearly up due to their earnings. Like I've already kind of shown you, like they hit every single metric. Like this is kind of the pivotal stock to be in, and there's a couple alternatives that I think some investors are kind of going and gravitating towards, which myself being one of them. I will talk about that in a second. But shorts, it's not really heavily shorted, so 1.16% of the free float is being shorted. But one point to really watch for is this R3. It was temporarily outside of it so far this morning, but definitely it's going to be flirting with this R3 throughout the day. So just watch for that. Vice versa, I don't anticipate it touching this R2 by any means. So most likely it will just gravitate towards this R3, and as well, that very big psychological support of $1,000. So again, something to kind of consider. But moving on from here, NIO. So more geopolitical issues as usual. So they did put this out after hours yesterday. So NIO reported its first quarter, or will be reporting its first quarter 2024 on June the 6th. But at the same time, it looks like just the States and China, even though what came out, I think it was around 3 weeks ago, said that they're going to be working in, obviously in sync and to better everything. That didn't really last all that long. So this is one thing that's been really plaguing NIO for a while. It's just the geopolitical issues, and yeah, so this is not necessarily the best. NIO is somewhat heavily shorted, so 13.41% of the free float is being shorted, so definitely anticipate shorts to be all over NIO today. And then right now with it at $5.15, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So just watch for this R2 to hold, so $5.10. If not, then anticipate it to most likely be within the $4 range sooner rather than later. So unfortunately, I think over the last couple of days, it has really been broken down on the technical front at least, so not the best chain of events. And like I said, some people, including myself, so I did invest in this next company because of NVIDIA earnings. It's a good alternative because it does move in sync, but it is heavily shorted, and that is SoundHound. So right now it is up 3.94% based off of no news, no SEC filings, just merely because it kind of trades in sync with NVIDIA, plain to state. The only thing that I really like about this company, why I did invest in this rather than NVIDIA, is because of it being heavily shorted. So 20.54% of the free float is being shorted. So if it's going to move in sync with NVIDIA, there's a stronger likelihood that this actually might outperform NVIDIA, as it has in the past. So again, I think this is why you saw a lot of volume in SoundHound over the last several trading days. So yeah, I think today should be a fairly exciting day, but right now with it at $5.28, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So just watch for 549 to be that next strong target, which over this last couple of trading days, or I guess more so at the beginning of this week, it did really fail to get above. So definitely watch for that. I don't anticipate this pivot point to be touched by any means anytime soon. So again, it most likely will be gravitating towards this R1 sooner rather than later. And finally, Palantir is getting a lot of volume despite there being actually no news, no SEC filings, nothing along those lines. So I think it's just maybe the AI play component that's what's causing Palantir to go up. So again, something to kind of consider. 4.19% of the free float is being shorted, so not really the most heavily shorted stock. So it's not shorts returning or anything like that. And right now with it at $21.51, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So over this last I believe it was mid last week, it did attempt to break above this pivot point, kind of failed. So this is a very strong resistance point that at least you need to watch for in the next couple of days. But today, with there being no official news dedicated to Palantir, I don't feel like this pivot point is going to be touched, at least today. If anything, it might gravitate a little bit lower to roughly around that $21 mark. That seems to be a very strong psychological support level. And then aside from that, this S1 is $20.69. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. A lot of volume, like I said, is getting in on a lot of them. So yeah, kind of interesting play. Let me know your thoughts. What are you buying? What are you selling? What are you doing today? And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.